Welcome back to Pearls of Eden. For those of you, this is the first time joining the channel. Well, hello there. My name is 𝔼𝕗𝔸𝕊𝕀𝕃, and we're going to get into some current news. All right. Many of you have seen the Whoopi Goldberg comment where she says they're trying to humanize Donald Trump after this attempted assassination, and they actually get upset that he gave glory to God for his life. And I think that is ridiculous because their argument was, well, what about Corey, the man that lost his life? How many of you know that you've had your own personal miracle? How many of you know that some of us are here by the grace of God? We've had our own divine encounters. Does that take away from other people who have lost their loved ones? God is sovereign. No, we all have a timestamp. And when we have achieved our purposes, then guess what? Time's up. And you know, I don't know if this will rub anyone the wrong way. I hope not. But I feel like so many people were saying that it was a staged event. That if this man did not lose his life, people wouldn't even realize how real this event was. So, you know, God has his reasonings for doing all that he does. And listen, the Donald Trump and all of the people around his organization, everyone has said how sorry they are for this man's loss, and even the people that were injured. He did a tribute and everything. He is not underlooking or overlooking this man and his family's loss. And I quite assure you that behind the scenes, he has done something for their family that he would never want anyone else to know, because I know the man and his character, right? From what I have seen and learned over the years, I would be willing to bet that he did something where the left hand does not tell the right hand. You get my drift? So I'm gonna let you all see the clip for yourself. Also, I thought it would be interesting to see how how other news outlets and other people around the world, specifically, we're gonna be looking at Australia news, how they view our election process, how they view what's happening, you all, because it's always interesting to get a perspective of how people on the outside are looking. And y'all, I told you all like a few weeks ago, it's just the Lord put in my spirit, it was like the days of our lives, right? Remember that short video that I did that I feel like this is Telemundo season? Grab your popcorn, because there's so many plots and twists, and there is even comedy. It's quite comical, but at any rate, let's just get into it because I found it very interesting and I thought you would too. Take a look.
Any day now, any minute now, have the comprehensively inept, bumbling giggler-in-chief Kamala Harris installed as the leader of the free world and the Democrats' 2024 presidential candidate. No elections, no primaries, nothing. Isn't it funny how the side that bleats endlessly about threats to democracy is the biggest threat to democracy? It's always about projection with these folks. For whatever you may think of the cognitively impaired Joe Biden, he has won the delegates necessary for renomination. They had primaries, Joe won them. In any sort of democracy, that matters for something, but not anymore. And it's not because they suddenly discovered Joe was mentally unfit for office. It's because he is floundering in the polls. Even before the debate, he was in peril. But after his cognitive decline was laid bare, the vultures have come out. And it's the wildly unpopular and incompetent Kamala Harris who is right now seen as their best chance. Yes, this woman.
We all watched the television coverage of just yesterday. That's on top of everything else that we know and don't know yet, based on what we've just been able to see. And because we've seen it or not doesn't mean it hasn't happened. But just limited to what we have seen.
When looking at Kamala Harris, it's easy to be distracted by the ineptitude, the cackling idiocy. But mark my words, this is a dangerously race-obsessed neo-Marxist politician whose voting record is among the most radically far left in the Senate. Watch here as she explains why equality is not the goal. We need to manufacture equality of outcomes so everyone ends up in the same place. Sounds a bit like communism to me.
Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place.
We all end up in the same place, equity. When you hear that word, red flags should go up, because that's pure Marxist doctrine, the pursuit of so-called equity, of equal outcomes for all. That's led to millions dead. It's as idiotic as it is evil. And let's not forget Kamala's reckless race baiting in 2020 as cities across America were plunged into violent BLM riots that saw more than 20 people killed, hundreds more bashed, shops, residences, businesses burnt to the ground with around $2 billion in damage. This is what the future Vice President was doing. She was raising bail money for the thugs police were arresting during BLM's summer of riots. People she helped free went on to commit more heinous acts, including murder. Yes, the headline there is right. Minnesota man freed by Kamala Harris's supported bail fund, now charged with murder. He was found guilty. Now, in any sane world, that may disqualify a person from seeking the highest office in the land. It would at least earn them some widespread criticism. But Kamala's reckless race baiting is really never mentioned by the US media, not by the overwhelming majority of them anyway. To end with a President Kamala Harris would be like having one of the mad banshees of The View in the Oval Office. And
all right, so she's about to get into The View and her thoughts about what everybody witnessed. I just want to say that I do think that their platform, there's a spirit of witchcraft. We have to understand that witchcraft is not just abracadabra, but it is rebellion against the Most High God, the Word of God. And although many of them say, I'm a Christian, I'm Catholic, I believe that, I believe this or I believe that, out of a man's heart, an abundance is spoken, the treasures, right? You really can see what a person believes. And I just want to say that I strongly believe that there is a lot of witchcraft and manipulation. Why? Because they want to manipulate you to believe that this man is the big bad wolf, that orange man is bad. And anybody that doesn't see or believe the way they think, they will just come after you like a bunch of wolves, right? And I just think that's wrong, because everybody's entitled to their beliefs. But when you begin to attack other people for their viewpoints, when you be able to, when you try to dehumanize this man, as Whoopi Goldberg said, she wants to he's a human. What are you talking about? You're a human, Whoopi Goldberg. And it is my prayer, because I really liked her at one point in time, but I just feel like there is something else that is operating within her. She's of a different spirit. And as I feel that way of all of the ladies on The View, I feel like they're operating in heavy witchcraft. You all, we do not war against flesh and blood. But I'm gonna let you take a listen.
Wowee, haven't those lovely ladies had an almighty meltdown since the assassination attempt against Trump and the Republican National Convention? Here is the odious 𝔼𝕋𝕋 attacking Trump for feeling blessed to be alive.
I'm speaking to fellow Christians. I was raised Catholic. I'm a Christian girl. When something like this happens to you, like this assassination attempt, and you say something like God was watching me, that is a very unchristian thing to say, because it's very narcissistic. What about Corey? What's his name? Compratore.
Vile, and just as vile as the views are. Whoopi Goldberg, who had a go at Donald Trump's granddaughter Kai for daring to humanize her grandfather. Listen to this deranged rant.
I have a lot of faith in the American people. And I don't know very many men who want to be talked to the way that this man has been talking to men in his audience. I don't know any women, and I know his grandchild was up on the thing, and they're trying to humanize him and change your idea about who this guy is. Don't fall for that. Trump.
What sort of sad, twisted and tiny leftist echo chamber does that woman belong to? Has she seen the polls? Yet she doesn't know men or women who like how Trump speaks to them. She has a go at a child for speaking about her grandfather. And the bitter harpies of The View have a message for the Democrats. Install Kamala or else. This is Sunny Hostin.
Kamala, if she is leapfrogged and there's just some open convention, no Democratic nominee can win without the black vote. Black women will not support Kamala Harris being looked over. Why? Because she is ready, overlooked. But she is ready to be the president. She's been in the Oval Office with him. She's been in the Situation Room with him. How dare people suggest that she is incompetent?
But isn't this a little
just to be clear.
How dare they? She's incompetent, Sonny. She's not only dangerously incompetent, she's a chronic underperformer in every key role she's been assigned. She's captured entirely by the radical left. She's wildly unpopular. And if she is the nominee, Donald Trump will win in a landslide. And the American people, indeed all of us, deserve another debate between Biden and Trump. If we are denied that, then at least we have Shane Gillis as Trump and Adam Ray as Biden to fill the void with their brilliant impersonations.
So that was it for today's current news. I thought it was really interesting and I wanted to share it with my audience to get your perspective on it. You know, everyone's entitled to their thoughts and opinions. I think the best thing we can do is learn to be respectful and to hear one another. But I do think it's very interesting to see how people around the world are really viewing this election process, and to get their thoughts and their opinions as well is very fascinating. So that's all that I have for you all today. Enjoy the Sunday, enjoy the day, make time to do something that will help you to be better and feel more refreshed and recharged and ready for the week. I love you to life, guys. It's just gonna get more interesting, right? Grab your popcorn. See you soon. Bye.